Good morning, Annie.
Good morning, Carrie.
Guess what day it is?
It's Friday.
It is. It's Friday, July the 16th, and
It
it's
is.
time for
Crumbs from the...
Pop-Tarts.
It is.
Absolutely.
And we did not coordinate our outfits today. I showed up and looked at her and went, whatever!
I know.
It was meant to be.
And if you look at our Bibles,
I know.
we're just like,
We managed.
yeah, like you're really in there
Scary.
with the blue. Mine's a little more green, but
Yeah.
on a
Kinda
kind of
crazy.
rainy day, I think
It is.
these colors are nice.
I think, well, you know me, I'm always going to be bright.
Yes, that's
no matter
true.
what, it's going to be bright. That's why it's like wearing black clergy shirts. Oh man, I have to have pink socks on. I just have to. It's a thing.
There you go.
It's a thing.
Yep.
So, parables, because we continue to look at the parables in the Bible, of which there are many.
We do.
And we don't have any great theological treatise to provide with you, to you other than just our thoughts.
Yes.
Just our thoughts. So today we're looking at Matthew 7, verses 1 to 5.
That's right. Judging others.
Oh my.
Do you wanna read this, Annie?
I can read this.
Okay, you
Okay.
read this.
Do not judge, so that you may not be judged. For with the judgment you make, you will be judged. And the measure you give will be the measure you get. Why do you see the speck in your neighbor's eye, but do not notice the log in your own eye? Or how can you say to your neighbor, let me take the speck out of your eye, while the log is in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your neighbor's eye. The gospel of Christ.
Praise
Praise
to you,
you,
Lord Jesus Christ. Man, preach it, brother, preach it. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, very short, very, very short sort of parable here, but incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Especially in the times that we are now.
Oh yeah.
Right? I know everybody's getting sick of talking about the pandemic. I know everybody is. We all just want to move beyond this. But when I think of this parable today, I think of the issues that I talked about last Sunday, actually, in this concern of taking stands and judgments against those who do not, or those who do, right? So there's this judgment on those who do take the vaccination, for example. And
The us and them.
yeah, like
They have, they don't have.
Yep,
And is one less worthy than the other?
absolutely.
And that's what bothers me more is the worthiness. You know, I was always raised that I am who I am.
Yeah,
I may not be perfect. Lord knows I'm not perfect. But I am who I am. And if I'm worthy to achieve something, as long as I've tried, I've achieved that thing. But I'm no less able than anybody else. And I'm not necessarily smarter or prettier or taller or what. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So it's the us and them that's always bugged me. It's, you know.
and we as a community, I think, have this incredible opportunity to step into greater compassion, right? At this stage, those who feel comfortable with getting their vaccinations, and I encourage everyone to get them, but the word is encourage, right? I encourage everyone to have faith and trust in those. But if there are those who still feel that it's not safe for them,
Right.
that there's something that's untrustworthy, then my hope is that as a community, we can see that there's enough people inoculated that we create a safer environment for those who may not feel safe at this point. Because at some point in the future, they may very well be the same people who then create a safer community for us when we are hesitant, when we are slow on the uptake. You know, I said last week in my sermon that people look different through the lens of grace.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think about this parable today, and I think about, well, it's really difficult to see anything if you've got a log in your eye.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's the point, right? You can't
Yeah.
see beyond, and I mean, that's got to be having a log in your eye, albeit a parable, something in your eye, you know how you get something in your eye? It's all encompassing. You're not thinking about anything else but getting that thing out of your eye. So you're focused just here, right?
Yeah.
It's right close. But we shouldn't focus so close.
No.
We need to focus out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look
And
beyond.
whether it's a log or a speck, I mean, anything that's in our eyes is an urgent, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I love this idea, because remembering that parables is something that sort of turns our thinking upside down.
Yep.
Right? And so, yes, a log. We're not going to likely have a log in our eye.
Let's hope not.
No, not unless you're like below a tree that's falling or something like that. But but it's this idea of, look with compassion on the other.
Yep.
Because the other is really a reflection of ourselves.
That's right.
Right? I mean, this whole idea that, and I know I keep coming back to this, but I just, right back from my strawberry seed planting, is that we all have a divine seed in us.
Yeah.
And so we're looking for that, but we can't see it if we're not looking through a lens of grace.
That's right.
Right?
And somebody would probably say, okay, so where do I get a lens of grace? That's a really good question.
It is.
So does it take prayer? Yeah.
I think so.
Does it take inner reflection?
Yeah.
Does it take knowing yourself?
Yeah.
And does it take stretching your boundaries and thinking outside of your own personal box? You know the phrase, think outside the box? Well, I'm sure we all have a personal box. Mine just happens to be stunning. However, you've got to think outside of that box, right? To see the other with grace.
And I think I would add to that humility.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
To see that our own imperfection, our own flaw, as small as they may be. It was big.
Sorry, that came out. I only said one flaw. I only have one.
We all have something, right? And so instead of standing in a place of perfection, standing in a place of absolute knowing, it's about standing in a place of compassion, right?
And I'm going to springboard off on that, of standing in a place, but also going back to the vision that we have. I'm finding this it's now years in the pandemic. Our vision is not clear because it's been changed so many times.
Absolutely.
You know, like today, we're now in phase 3. I don't know if it started at midnight last night or it started.
I think so. I think it's like 1 minute after midnight.
Today.
Yeah.
But see what I mean? Like the clarity is not there. And I think I'm finding it more difficult or it takes more energy to find that clarity because so much is changing. It's like, I can't do this anymore. Just tell me what I'm supposed to do. So
and I mean, and just viewing the decisions that have been made on our behalf by those who we place trust in, right? And let's admit, I mean, all human trust is slightly flawed, right? None of us are perfect.
No.
But also leaning into, with some compassion, trying to understand why decisions were made, even though we may think that they're really silly.
Yeah, we're looking at them now as being silly.
Right.
But those that are in preparation looked at them. Now, perfect example, St. Paul's Chatsworth. I was going through some of the files there and I found a preparation for pandemic from 1982.
Oh,
1982. Where were we all in 1982? I know where I was. I was in high school. So we're looking at a pandemic file and I looked at it and I had to laugh because it was outdated, but somebody, and it was weird, and it was some of the things are like, I don't think so. But it was, somebody had worked so hard to bring clarity to something that might happen.
Right.
And now you look at it and you go, that was crazy thinking.
So then is maybe clarity, does that reside in that place of grace?
I think so.
Are we looking for clarity sometimes without grace? Is there clarity without grace? Ooh, now there's a question for us to read, for you to ponder.
Clarity without grace? I don't know. I'll have to think about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, subject for another sermon.
There we go. Is there clarity without grace? We're going to have to go home and think about that.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, this was today's parable, which of course was about judgment.
It was.
Kind of cool, thinking about specs and logs and lenses but coming back always to grace. What an incredible thing. And God is gracious. God is so big and powerful. I'm just going to stop.
I know.
I feel like
Here she goes.
I know. I feel like a song, right? My God is so big,
So strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. Bow, bow.
Okay, enough of the song.
Okay.
We just want to say goodbye. Have a wonderful weekend. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Yep.
So excited about these services that are beginning to happen outside.
I know.
Like August 1st, August
15. Oh, July 25th.
July 25th. July 25th in Tara and at St. Paul's here in Southampton.
It's the dynamic duo in 2 places.
That's
just
right.
So you know. Yeah.
So, and those are regional ministry services. So if you want to come and gather, bring your sun hat, maybe your umbrella, bring your lawn chair, and come and enjoy a Holy Eucharistic service. Oh yeah, and a mask, right?
Yeah, whatever.
And if you're going to stay, bring your coffee, right?
Yeah, bring your coffee. That's okay.
Right,
Many
coffee.
chairs have cup holders in them. There's a reason for that. Yeah.
There we go. So anyways, blessings on your weekend. Thank you so much for joining us for our moments of frivolity and grace. So,
Be well.
as Annie says, peace. Take care. Remember, still wash your hands, wear your masks, but begin to enjoy what our beautiful communities have to offer in this beautiful corner of the world.
Be well.
Bye-bye.